What up? Stovilla Elohim Ra again. Today I want to go over genes of Isis, gender, generation, and some other stuff. When you have the Genesis, this is the genes of Isis. And Isis is the word for Jesus. Before they had J's, it was spelled Jesus, which is Jupiter, Zeus. The fourth day. When the animals were created. That's why we keep animals in the zoos. You know. And there's many names. It's Horus Pitah, Harry Potter, and you know that Zeus is always the lightning bolt. You see it on Harry Potter's head. You know, it's also, they say in the Bible it's Peter, so it'd be Jew. Peter the Jew is Jew Peter. You know. In the Moors they say Hotep, which is Peter backwards. It's just so deep how Jupiter and Saturn are the like the main ones, are the giants, you know. And then you have the DNA, the genes of Isis would be hydrogen. Hydrogen, which is water, oxygen, which is air, nitrogen, which is fire, and carbon, which is earth. And that makes up your DNA, you know. Three gens, the hydrogen, oxygen, you know, all four. Carbon is the flesh, the sound, the word made flesh. And then you have the straight line of the sine wave, that's direct current, that's DC. And then you have the wave itself, which is AC, alternating current, you know. And then you have Aries, Taurus, Gemini, a little pinky, what in the world? And Cancer, and that would be A, T, G, C. That makes up your DNA. And when you make the DNA itself, you know, a little thing, you have these bars in here in your DNA. Those bars, when you turn the DNA, if you could turn this and look down it long ways, it would look like this. It makes the Star of David. Pretty nifty. Syncretism at its finest, you know. And when I think of like the genes of Isis, like the generator that gives you your genes, your gender, and then you get out of that, you can get generation. And for some reason I'm always thinking of Jenner, Bruce Jenner and his gender weirdness. And then let's see, what else was I going to go into on that? The DNA would be the tribe of Dan. DNA, Dan, and it goes all. I don't need to write all this down. Let's have this board fun. Okay, and then we have. I was going to go over. Somebody asked me the other day that what was the difference between the words no and no. This no means to go within. This no needs to go without. Alright? Which leads to what would be the book of knowledge, or the tree of knowledge. Knowledge would be, to know would be to go within, which would be living, and then you have the ledger. So it's the book of life, pretty much. To know, to go within. Abraham went in the tent and knew Sarah, which is just an allegory for Sarah Abram. Sarah and Abram, cereal, cerealia, Brahma, Saraswati, it's all the same thing. You know, bran and breakfast, cereal, bran, Sarah and Abraham. Anyway, whole nother video. And I also had the oath. And then you have yes, we did know, and I do yes. Yes comes from IHS. You see it above Jesus. It was Isis, Horus, and Set. And that's the sun. It gives you yesterday. You know, as I said before, day, dia, all those words, they all mean God. Like the God below would be dia below. Went over that in another video. Dia below, God below. And let's see, what else do I have over here in my notes to go over? I also wanted to go over the short circuiting of the chakras. Is very important because you have to be grounded. If you're not grounded, it's called the ground because it grounds you. All GR words have to do with the ground. Grass, gravel, grain, all it, grave. It just goes, the words are deep. If you don't know the words, you know, it's going to be hard. It's going to be real hard. But I'll have what was I going to do? Uh-oh. I'm getting ready to do something. This is what I'm talking about, man. Oh well. I'm over it. Oh, short circuiting. And if you're not grounded, you're constantly, you have your bottom chakra. Those are the bottom two chakras. Every time you hit this chakra, if you're not grounded, you're gonna short circuit back down to there. Every time, over and over. You have to have your bare feet have to be grounded to the dirt, not the grass. And you need to be walking, causing friction. We need to be discharging our energy. Mother Earth discharges into us and we discharge into her. It makes a zero balance. You know? And then I also wanted to go over the word car means heart. These are just questions that people ask me, and Dio is God. So cardio is the heart of God. Generation, operation, dissolution. And you have the circle. I don't know why I did that. The 12 signs of the zodiac, which are the 12 posts, the 12 sons of Abraham. His four wives would be the four phases of the moon, and they have one daughter named Dinah, which is the dynamo, and that's a whole nother video. I could do a bunch on that. I just wanted to point that out. Anyway, right here, when you have the Baphomet, you see the hands pointing at this moon and this moon. Those are it's Taurus. Jason. That's Taurus and Scorpio. Those are the two that create, you know. And that would, never mind, we ain't gonna go there. That's a whole nother video on that one. That's because you have to know that pines, spine, penis. It's that's how they do it. Every word has positive, negative, neutral to it, you know. Like Abra, Arab. I mean, I can do it all day. But it's like a tree. Like when I'm talking right now, it's branching off. It's creating this in your head, and your brain is just shooting off. It's just building. the more knowledge you learn, it just keeps branching off like lightning. It's like a tree, because your spine is like a tree. The pines, you know, it's the lumbar vertebrae, the lumbar, and they're getting people into this satanic. Satan is just another word for darkness, you know, because when you have that and you have that, you have two arcs here. That's an arch, which is March. And this is an arch, which this one is ARK, which is dark. And that would be Mark. I'm going to do a whole video on that coming up. And I just want to get something out there for you people because everybody's freaking out. And I have, what else could I put in here today? Well, it's Sunday, everybody's going to church. I'm going to explain where the word church comes from. Circe, which is church. Also comes from Xerxes, which is church. Then you have kirk. All these words mean church. And bank. They're all the same. Bank. And then the judge works for the bank. Bank. There's probably more to that. But it's all capitalism. Like Captain Kirk is telling you about capitalism, which would make capital punishment, which is a play on words, punishment, and you're sentenced to a term. And it's all diction. The words you use, jurisdiction. Then you sit down to booking, which all goes back to IHS because you said yes, which they're creating your history, which is the Taurus field, the creator. Unless you work for the king and you have Regis Royale blue, red and blue, and because you're scared, red, sacred, red, and then you, I don't know, it's just the Red Cross, all of it. They work for the Rothschild, which child to them is killed or shield. And red would be Abel. Blue would be Cain. Which is cyan. Cyanide. All these words. They're all deep. And I've been working on a lot of stuff with words. Because I'm like Satan is El Shaddai in Per Web Hebrew, which means shadow. Because if you're worshiping the sun, and walking towards the sun, your shadow is going to be behind you. Behind you, there. I don't know what I'm doing. You know? And that's in the Bible. It says, get behind me, Satan. That's the shadow. And then out of the darkness comes the rainbow, which is Lucy, means light. Lucifer, you know, it's how you get your halo, which goes back to the genes of Isis as well. Because halo means light, which is halogen light, and light is measured in lumens. And you have lux, good looks, and I think I'm gonna call it a day on this one. It's really hot in here. That's why I have that one fan moving. Well, it should be cold about now, but usually it is. I don't know why. It's probably because I'm sweating. And the miracle equals mirror clue. Like people are, I found the Holy Grail. You know, it's the cup that Jesus drank out of. Jesus drank out of his hands. So that's 10, which is 5, 5. And when you look at the miracle of that, 5 and 5 makes a grail. It's just all esoteric, which is inside the donut, the Taurus field, the story, the Taurus field. It's all Taurus. Stores, Taurus, all this. I mean, when you see that word, you just syncretize it and put it together, and just know that everything they do is about the peace sign, which is Jupiter and Saturn. Alkalinity and acidity. This is the 9, and this is the 10. The 9th sign and the 10th sign. And they flip that upside down from the tree of life, which would be the cornerstone the builders rejected. And the builder would be a Freemason. They call them Freemasons because they had immunity. They're granted immunity under the king in case a building collapsed. And they're the widow's son. That's why you see in Bohemian Grove it says they don't want no weaving spiders there. The weaving spider would be the Black Widow, the widow's son. I could do a whole video on that. The widow's son. It's just, they're the builders. Even Jesus was a carpenter. You know, and it's just in the scriptures, because they're actors. What do actors have? And you have to have a script. That's why they're called scriptures. The cast of L. They're forecasting and broadcasting. They got acts and statutes, laws of the sea. Which comes from mer, customer, consumer, commerce, commercial, merchandise, Merlin, mermaid, all laws of the sea, which don't apply to you because you live on the land. But you don't know the difference between a charge and an indictment, the state and the people. It's just diction. They're using the wrong words on you. Automobile, motor vehicle are two different things. Signature and an autograph is two different things. I've already went over all this. I'm just mumbling and rambling. Just plant your feet. You know, they're tricking you with the cement, which is the sea mind, and the concrete. Because that's where the bull of the creation came from, Crete. And they're conning you, concrete, the sea mind. It made you a civilian, which is a villain. I don't remember how to spell villain. Villain of the sea. And they're running word games on you because they know they can't violate your free will. Because what's bound on earth is bound in heaven. They don't want to be bound to you, you know. Let's see, that's where you get the word religion. You know, these are suffixes and prefixes. Re and I. Lig comes from ligature, which is what you use to tie people up, to bond, like the skull and bones. What connects your body and your muscles, MU, music, Muslim, everybody's Muslim. There's nothing I can do about it. That's just, people don't understand about Mu and the moon and Luna. It's all up at the top. When you have a lunch, LU, back to the word games, but the skull and bones are connected to the body by ligaments. It's adhesive contracts. Look at the Elmer's glue. L is they're gone, and Mer. Look at their emblem. You'll see the bull. You'll see the pyramid. You'll see it all in there, because they're tricking you by bonding through ligaments, religion, and ligatures. You know, it's called an adhesion. That's what glue is called, an adhesive. Adhesion contract. From the day your mama had contractions in a maternity ward, making you a ward of the state, or the warden. There's no word that starts with HOS that means anything good. Hospital is not for you. It's a bonding warehouse. You're a hostage in a hostel. I mean, I can go way into that, and I already have. I have a video called Hospital Bonding Through Contractions. But I'm trying to get all this out so they come for me. You know, somebody said when a wise man dies, the library is lost. And I don't want to lose the library. Love y'all. And just remember, a court, tennis court, basketball court, a court is a level playing field. Don't let him sit up there on that bench because he's above the law. I'll help you out. Just contact me, message me. I'm always open. Shit, we'll get together on Skype. Ooh, I said shit. That's what we're all made out of. Whole nother video. It's called manure. Anyway, get a hold of me anytime. I want to get some interviews going because I can talk for hours. When I turn this camera on, my mind goes blank. Too worried about looking pretty. Yeah, right. Anyway, get a hold of me. Let's do this. Love y'all. Time for truth.